want to update you on the latest with COVID-19 here in the territory. There are currently 130 active cases. St. Croix is seeing the most with 77 people currently testing positive, 51 in St. Thomas and 2 in St. John. And one of the biggest events of the year here in St. Thomas is going virtual. The annual Antilles Gala will be hosting numerous activities and an exciting silent auction this Saturday, March 6th at 7 p.m., all virtually. The event is free and the bidding has already begun. Every year, the fundraiser directly helps students by raising scholarship funds to support their education. The head of the school is excited that this gala will still be taking place.
Instead of being at the MCM at school, now, anybody anywhere in the world who has access to the internet has an opportunity to be a part of our virtual gala. So we have transformed our event into a virtual platform where we will still, the purpose of the event is the same, which is to support Antilles and to support student access for education to Antilles, and really to support all of our programs that make it possible for a student to have an excellent educational experience. And we are going to have musical events. We're going to have a session where we learn about sushi making. There's a session on mixology. There are a number of different performances. And so throughout the evening, people can watch for the whole time. They can tune in as there's an event that is of interest to them. We still have an opportunity to stand up for kids. That's one of our initiatives. And this year, our stand up is to support financial aid, so student access to Antilles. There's a 50-50 raffle, and there's an incredible number of really interesting offerings on our silent auction, which is open now and will be open all the way through the gala, and people can bid on those items as well. So in many ways, it's the same event. In many ways, it's a really different event, and that many more people will have an opportunity to participate, and we hope that they do. I see it kind of like a watch party for a Hollywood event or the Oscars, and where people can gather together in small COVID-safe groups and sit back and relax in the comfort of their home and be entertained.
It's nice to see some normalcy with this event. To register for this special event, you can head on over to the Antilles School website and click register. And also in St. Thomas, construction at the King Airport will start this Monday. That means most of the airport's public parking area will now be closed and remain closed during this 2-year project. The VI Port Authority says travelers are being asked to be picked up and dropped off at the airport. Curbside parking is not allowed, and signs will be posted at the terminal advising of these new parking restrictions. The Parking and Transportation Center will have 600 parking spots and a dedicated location for ground transportation and car rentals. The VIPA will provide project updates on their website, viport.com. And the U.S. Senate is working on the coronavirus relief package. They could pass it as soon as this weekend. Our Washington correspondent Matt Knadler sat down one-on-one with Virgin Islands Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett to see what's in it for the territories. Let's take a look.
Well, good to see you again, Congresswoman. Thanks for the time. You know, I think it's just been very busy on the Hill, but let's catch folks up on where things stand with the relief package right now. From what I understand, left the House, going to the Senate, could come back, right?
Not sure if it's going to come back. I think the hope is that, well, you know, there will have to be some reconciliation due to the fact that the House passed the minimum wage. We don't think that's necessarily going to be in the Senate piece. But the expectation is that by the end of next week, this will be on the president's desk. So most of the components that were in the House bill will, in fact, we believe, be in the Senate version and passed by the Senate as well. Excuse me. Thankfully for the Virgin Islands, I'm really grateful that most of the things that we had in the bill that were for specifically the Virgin Islands will, in fact, we've seen that they've remained in the Senate version. That's, of course, that, you know, the president is fulfilling a promise to provide $2,000 in direct assistance. We know that in December, the Senate agreed to the $600, and we have a check that is for $1,400 per person, which will create that $2,000 per person for qualified individuals that the president, you know, made as a promise when he first came into office. The plan also provides for direct housing and nutrition assistance, expands access to safe and reliable childcare and affordable health care. We're trying to really get money into rural areas to allow for our children to be back at school. Back in December, we were able to get $70 million to the Department of Education specifically to try and get our young people back into the classroom. I'm happy to see that the Department of Ed, in conjunction with the governor's office, is working on that. We've seen this past week children starting to get back to school. We're extending the unemployment insurance. Our office is in conversations with the Department of Labor about providing additional information to those who qualify for unemployment insurance so that they'll have that information out. We also have an expanded child tax credit as well as an earned income tax credit. What's important to know for Virgin Islanders in the child tax credit and the earned income tax credit is that because of how the tax code is written, territories are allowed to keep federal income taxes. So when you live in the Virgin Islands, all of us fill out a 1040 form, but that money stays in the territory. But because of that, when there are tax credits, the Virgin Islands government has to pay out those. So when we as Virgin Islanders qualify for an earned income tax credit or a child tax credit, that money doesn't come from the federal government, it comes from the Virgin Islands government. We've been able to secure a reimbursement for the child tax credit and the earned income tax credit in this relief package. Additionally, there is another tranche of support to our small businesses through the Payroll Protection Program. Those businesses that have qualified in the past, we want you to know that there's additional money to extend that for you, as well as the fact that there is also funding for those companies that previously may have not have thought that they needed it, now think that they're in a situation where they do. Please look to our local banks, EDA, SBA, as well as the Research and Technology Park, who can provide you with assistance to receive that. Virgin Island businesses have done really well in this program, and we're hopeful that we can continue with that. But I think the greatest win is the money that we've been able to secure for the Virgin Islands government, which will allow them through the formula that we put into the bill to receive money for revenues lost. And right now that amount is $584 million that will go as a direct payment to the government of the Virgin Islands in this relief package. That's to support policemen, nurses, our teachers, for loss of revenues that we know we are not going to be receiving because of the hit of COVID to our tourism industry and to others. And so I think this is going to be a real support to the Virgin Islands government. Once it's signed by the president, that money goes down. My office is going to be giving the governor a list of what we think some of the priorities should be. Of course, one of them is homelessness and our mental health issues. We know that we do not have enough support systems and facilities for those that have mental health issues, as well as for our homeless. Sometimes those are one and the same. And we're hoping that the government of the Virgin Islands will dedicate some funding to that effort as well.
And Matt will continue his one-on-one conversation with Congresswoman Plaskett on Monday.